First, I want to talk about the intellectual dimension of Italy. Italian schools run Monday through Saturday from 8 to 1. Because of this, most schools do not have cafeterias on campus, and students eat their lunch at home. Afternoons are open for special projects. High school students choose the type of school that they want to go to. Classic school includes students taking courses in literature, philosophy, and history. Science school, where students take courses in physics, chemistry, and natural sciences. Fine arts school, students take courses in drawing, sculpting, and painting. And technical institute. At these schools, they prepare students for a number of specific vocations, including agriculture and commerce. Books are gotten from a bookshop in Italy, not kept on campus like in most American schools. Italy is one of the last countries to still have cursive taught as a required course. In almost all schools, there is a Catholic education class taught. Parents have to opt their children out of this class if they do not want them to attend. Depending on the ranking system you are looking at, Italy typically falls between 25 and 35 on the overall education for a country. School is strictly considered a place of learning, and sports teams are not connected with educational establishments. If a student is interested in playing on a team, he or she must go to a private club. American high schools generally require students to get up and change classes multiple times throughout the day. However, in Italy, students remain in a single classroom during the day, and teachers move from room to room. Next, we'll talk about the social dimension on the 8 dimensions of wellness. Italians are very friendly and will often make conversation with all people. Tourism is huge in Italy, and Italians are used to meeting people from all over the world. There's a great deal of public embracing and kissing upon greeting someone. It is also polite to sit close to people and to interact by lightly touching people on the arms. Gazing intently at strangers is common, and Italians expect to be looked at in public. Italians are very family-oriented, and social gatherings or outings often involve many family members. Going out to a bar and having some wine is very common. Coffee shops are also a vital aspect of social life in Italy. Families will also host large gatherings at their homes. Over 20% of Italians smoke, and it is common to see kids as young as 15 smoking. Smoking is banned in public indoor spaces, but nowhere outdoors. Nutritionally, most people associate the Mediterranean diet with Italy. This is a diet high in fatty and healthy fats, fresh produce, whole grains, and low in red meats. However, a recent study showed that less than half of Italians follow this diet and are now more closely associated with the Western diet. Food portions are plentiful in Italy, and this has led to Italy having the second highest childhood obesity rate in the world, only behind Greece. Lunch is actually the largest meal of the day. Gelato, a thick frozen dessert similar to ice cream, is a favorite dessert. Generally, a male feels closest for many reasons to his mother's side and their kin. They usually and traditionally protect him from the father's side. Care is taken not to be foolish and boast too much about one's child. There's fear that others will be jealous of a healthy and bright baby. The spiritual dimension of wellness is a little bit scant in Italy, just because it's so heavily dominated by Roman Catholics. 90% of the population in Italy is Roman Catholic. Rome, or more precisely the Vatican City, is the capital of the entire Roman Catholic religion of the entire world. The Pope lives here, and most Italians admire him. Churches are plentiful and also attract the tourist dollar. Italy is filled with over 2,000 years worth of holy places. Rome and the Vatican City alone have thousands of shrines, relics, and churches. Italians generally believe in a life after death in which the good are rewarded and the evil are punished. Let's talk about the physical dimension of wellness. Italians are showing similar Western-style trends in their fitness habits as seen in their eating habits. They are walking and exercising less than they have in the past, and their obesity rates are climbing. In general, Italians are still more likely to walk than Americans, but less likely to attend a gym. Gym culture is quite different as well. It is very common to use the gym to show off fashion trends, and personal space is not a universal concept in Italy, including at the gym. There are considerably less powerlifters. A recent report stated that 60% of Italians claim to never exercise. Soccer is the most popular sport by far, with more than 4 million Italians playing the game. They have been the World Cup champions 4 times and are considered one of the favorites to win almost every tournament. Basketball, volleyball, and cycling are also popular in Italy. Motorsports must also be mentioned when thinking about the culture of sports in Italy, as Formula One races are quite successful and led by Italian car maker Ferrari. Moving on to the environmental dimension of wellness. Italy is a boot-shaped peninsula that juts out of the southern Europe into the waters of the Mediterranean Sea. The Alps, a large mountain range, cut across the northern border. From the western end of the Alps all the way down, the Apennines Mountains stretch. West of the Apennines are wooded hills that are home to many of Italy's historic cities, including Rome. In the south, it's hot with dry coastlands and fertile plains where olives, almonds, and figs are grown. Italy is known for its Mediterranean climate, which is found mainly on the coast. Inland, it is generally cooler and wetter, but usually hotter during the summer. Southern Italy has a hot and mostly dry climate, while the north has more of an alpine climate, getting lots of snow in the winter. Major environmental issues currently facing Italy include air pollution from energy and heating, transportation and industrial sources, polluted inland waters, acid rain, and insufficient industrial waste treatment and disposal programs. Though Italy's response to environmental crises have been slow in the past, there is hope that Italy is starting to make major improvements. The solar energy sector has seen costs reduced by 72% in recent years due to pro-environmental policies enacted by the country. Moving on to the emotional dimension of wellness. Italy has one of the lowest rates of diagnosed depression in the world, which is 3.8%. This is credited to a strong mental health care system and the strong family ties common in their culture. However, another study noted the culture around depression is much different in Italy. In this study, 62% of Italians reported they had experienced depression, but the majority of those believe that the answer to recovering from depression was support from family members, not from seeing a psychologist. So again, the strong family culture of Italy seems to be a major factor in depression recovery. Italians are commonly very proud and take exceptional pride in their appearance. They are quite forward, especially when they have physical interest in someone. They will be very touchy and give many romantic gestures. When driving, Italians are often very aggressive, especially in using their horn. They are very comfortable in an argument and will tell you exactly how they feel. Finally, the financial dimension of wellness in Italy. Italians earn approximately $36,000 per year. That's about $7,000 less per year than Americans. They have a higher income tax rate, which is between 23% for the bottom tier and 43% for the top tier. Anyone making over $120,000 a year is hit with the 43% rate, whereas in the U.S., the top tax rate is only 37%, and you don't break into that rate until over $500,000 a year made. For the higher taxes, Italians do get universal health care. Their health care is generally ranked in the top 5 in the world. Data show that the employment rate in Italy, which currently stands at 59%, is at a historic high, having never been as good since 1977. The unemployment level is under 10%, a record low since 2012. Italy is still in third place for the highest rate of youth unemployment, only lower than Greece and Spain. The contrast between the north and the south is stark. Northern Italy is more industrialized and developed and known for its abundance of private companies, while the south relies heavily on agriculture and farming. Because around 63 million travelers flock to Italy every year to see its famous sights, casual work and temporary contracts in the tourism industry are much easier to find than permanent employment in other sectors. All employees are entitled to at least 4 hours of paid annual leave as well as 12 public holidays each year.